On this week's installment of KGov, the Massachusetts Senate race, all the latest analysis, facts, and context brought to you by our host. I'm William Cleveland, and with me is my good friend Garrett Cross.
We'll be bringing you up to speed on the demographics, the candidates, and the race, as well as predict the results of the 2012 Massachusetts Senate election.
Thanks, Garrett. I'll start us off with some key facts about Massachusetts. First, let's start with some basic numbers. Massachusetts is home to about 6.6 million people. 4.1 million of those are registered voters. Now, 52% of those voters are unenrolled. Of the remaining 48%, 36% are Democrat versus around 12% Republican. Suffice it to say, both historically and currently, Massachusetts is predominantly Democratic. Also of note was former governor and current presidential nominee Mitt Romney of the Republican Party.
Thanks, Will. After the death of former Democratic Senator Ted Kennedy in 2009, a special election in 2010 was prompted. Scott Brown, no relation to Sweet Brown, won in a surprising victory over Jack E. Robinson. Brown became the first Republican candidate to win since 1996. No small feat in a state that voted 62% for Barack Obama in 2008. So with the background of the election established, let's talk about the candidates.
The Democratic challenger, Elizabeth Warren, is a Harvard law professor and consumer advocate who served in the Obama administration. Her most notable accomplishment includes the ramping up of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Warren has been warmly received by the Democratic Party, and to show its love, the Democratic Party has paid her handsomely to the tune of $13.5 million. Compare that to Brown's $15.6 million raised, and Warren is no slouch. Warren has worked to position herself as looking out for the hard-working, middle-class voters. She has described herself as growing up on the ragged edge of the middle class. She claims as having fought against an entrenched interest on behalf of the working American families. She paints Brown as someone concerned for the big banks on Wall Street, while she promises to take care of the ordinary people whose incomes have stagnated through the nasty recession and weak recovery.
The other candidate, Scott Brown, has the incumbency advantage. Brown has been described as being moderate, conservative, and even liberal, though his voting records indicate he is a moderate conservative. Brown has historically done well with independents, which plays into his benefit, since the majority of Massachusetts voters are unenrolled. His main campaign message has been about bipartisanship and looking beyond the party, and his slogan throughout his campaign is "He's for us." Brown is viewed as a hard-working, regular guy who is willing to reach across the aisle to solve problems and get things done. Brown has conveyed Warren as an out-of-touch Harvard professor, elitist, and too extreme for moderate, independent voters.
Both candidates have signed a People's Pledge, an initiative to reduce third-party advertising. Neither has used negative advertising, an odd sighting in a political spectrum that has been mudslinging since the days of Old Hickory himself, Andrew Jackson.
As of now, the race is at a dead heat, with Warren taking a slight lead. Warren currently holds an average of 49.7% of likely voters versus Brown's 46%.
Overall, we predict Warren to prevail with a slight edge due to Massachusetts' Democratic tendencies and history, as well as the parity of money raised between the incumbent and the challenger.
With that, concludes this week's installment of KGov. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again next week.